So Manly to get us underway once again. If you're just joining us, drama in the warm-up for the Dragons. Moses Suli out with a hamstring strain, so Christian Tuipulotu, who was going to be the 18th man, into the side, and Michael Molo is now the 18th man for the Dragons. The clear skies here, running towards the northern end, or the Bob Fulton stand end. The Seagulls through Davey Cherry Evans will get us underway, and wouldn't you know it, the ball falls off the tee. Good thing we didn't see too much of that in Pinehurst for the third round of the US Open earlier this morning on Channel 503. Cherry Evans gets us underway. The kick will go down to Ben Hunt, and they'll work it away here. Strong carry made by Francis Molo. And Jacob Little in the dummy half roll, a former Tiger, and today taking on Jake Simpkin as his opponent in the dummy half roll for Manly, another former Tiger. Beginning here just outside the 20 as the Eagles in defence work it strongly here. Good tackle made on Tom Eisenhuth. And Little from dummy half goes back to the left-hand side. Here is Jack DeBellin. About 5 short of the halfway line. Comes across to Ben Hunt. Will kick from just outside the 40. Down towards both Hopewadi there, and also bringing it back Tommy Talau, who was in rare try-scoring form last week. 4 tries against the Penrith Panthers. Little breeze around here today. We'll go to Jake Duke in a moment to get a feel for conditions, but it is brilliant sunshine to begin with here. Simpkin comes back to the middle. Paseka striding out, taken down there by tackle of Molo, and now jumping out of dummy half. Nice work by Hopewadi. So Manly with a chance here. A couple of plays left in this opening set as Cherry Evans goes across on that right-hand side. We've got one more here, and they'll go down the short side where Cherry Evans will kick it down towards Tyrell Sloan, who'll go up and make the catch. And they'll lock him up in the corner of the field, the northeastern corner, as we go downstairs to Jake Duke.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. The locals call it God's country here on Sydney's northern beaches, and it's hard to argue with that today. A stunning afternoon, about 15 degrees, and a very light breeze behind the Seagulls here in the first half. No surprise, it is a sellout as the Dragons get a penalty, the 4th sellout here at 4 Pines Park this evening, this season, sorry. And just to follow up on that Moses Suli injury, he felt a little bit of a pull in his hamstring in the warm-up, was pulled out by training staff. Not sure how serious. He'll go for scans tomorrow, but a big blow for the Dragons to start this one.
You know, question about that. A real wrinkle there thrown at that man, Shane Flanagan, who in 2023 was an assistant here on the Northern Beaches, Anthony Seibold at the Seagulls. Come together today as the Dragons work it through the middle of the field here.
Tough off the ball.
Molo it is. In Manly territory. Will play it for Little. Comes to Flanagan, and now DeBellin scouting wide on this right-hand side. A regular fixture now in the front row for Shane Flanagan. Flanagan again. That's Kyle at first receiver. Comes across to Molo, who's chopped down. A good tackle there by Olakuwatu. Now Eisenhuth working it up towards DeBellin. He'll stand and deliver. Ben Hunt puts a kick in for Lomax, who just doesn't get the bounce he was hoping for.
Well, that's exactly what you expect there from Ben Hunt. A beautiful offload by Eisenhuth there, standing in the tackle. Hunt just sees that they're up. Little grubber kick in and behind. Look at the bounce. Had it bounced in field, Lomax would have scooped that up and near and scored. Good start here from Saints. Gee, he put a bit of steel into this side, hasn't he? Shane Flanagan over. He's taken over from into the Dragons coaching staff, and he's done so well. Gee, they've got some competitive players now as Manly win a penalty, and that's their first of the first half.
Ruben Garrick caught an awkward position there. What about the back for Taniela Paseka? Tension on his arm. Here's the tackle on Garrick. You see the bodies, including Molo and also Luciano Leilua, ending up on top of him. But there is real concern here. Taniela Paseka might be a dislocated thumb by the looks of things, given The action and the jumping we just saw there from Taniela, that must smart.
Yeah, that'll be a big loss if he doesn't go back out there for the Manly side. His first run, carried a couple of players, poked his nose through, and off quick play the balls. They'll miss him if he's not playing.
So Jake Trbojevic, one of the 3 Origin players in the Manly lineup. 3 included for the Dragons today as well, as Jake Trbojevic comes across to Ben Trbojevic. And they're inside the Dragons 20. First real attacking chance for the Seagulls in this game. Brooks for Cherry Evans. Goes wide to Ola Kuwatu. Good hands. Hopewadi for the corner. He'll win the race. He plants it down. What speed he has. Lehigh Hopewadi scores his first try in the NRL. Famous name at this famous Seagulls venue, and they led it here 4 points to 0.
Well, what about that for speed on the outside? If you have a look at both fullbacks this afternoon, they've got that gliding speed. The cutout pass there, Harvey Norman replay here. Look at that, the show and go. Just burnt on the outside there. Fiona it was who he burnt, just got on the outside. Look at the speed, just takes off, takes his opportunity, takes his chance. As I mentioned, both fullbacks outstanding. Sloan couldn't make the tackle there, and Hopewadi scores the opening try for Manly.
What a family they have been. A number of decades now here, going back to the early 90s when John made his debut. His father, you can reel off the siblings, both male and female, of Lehigh Hopewadi, who played in the NRL. He opens his account in his 3rd game in the big time. Got him on contract until the end of 2026 as well. They really like what he can bring to them down the track. For the moment, though, at just 19 years of age, when Tom Trbojevic returns, he'll be back as the backup once again. Ruben Garrick up against the sideline here, trying to make it 6 points to 0. In front of a packed hill on that eastern side of the ground. This one misses to the right-hand side, stays at 4 points to 0. Manly on top.
It's interesting you mentioned Tom Trbojevic there. He's expected to return after Manly have the bye. They have one more match, then the bye, and Tommy's is supposed to be returning from that hamstring injury. And Anthony Seibold revealed during the week that they are having serious considerations about moving Tom's position to the centres. They've been studying the data and see if it checks out. So Lehigh Hopewadi, who's been excellent in his first 2 games, 3 try assists, 4 line break assists, and then gets his first try. He could stay in that number 1 position if they decide to move Tom and lessen his workload. So an interesting decision for Anthony Seibold in the next couple of weeks.
Yes, indeed it is. Thanks for that, Jake, as Lomax kicks down towards the corner. Cherry Evans makes the catch, and Toff Sipley into the starting side today for Anthony Seibold. We'll bring it out here to be stopped just outside the Sea Eagles 10. Nathan Brown taking it forward here, so a change made already with Daniela Paseka coming from the field while that try was being scored. That thumb injury too much for him to continue on, as they will just stay in the field of play here. In fact, they've lost the ball. Luke Brooks ending up almost with his head going into touch. He loses possession, and the Dragons will get a chance to hit straight back, but there's more injury drama here already with Paseka coming from the field. Nathan Brown out there already.
Yeah, that was a good run there by Brooks, really, but he just got ambushed by 4 or 5 tacklers there from the St George Illawarra side. Just forced him in the touch, just held him up and just bundled him in the touch. That's a good defensive effort there from the Saints. Give themselves an opportunity. 30 out now. Good reply after Manly had scored first.
And Molo throwing himself into the tackle here of Jake Trbojevic and also Jake Simpkin. His right-hand side to Bellum. Comes to Ben Hunter to back on the inside for Jaden Sewell, one of those 3 Origin representatives for the Dragons here today. He lost it. The ball might have touched Ben Trbojevic, but play on is the call. From the right upright. Big back line set to the left-hand side. Flanagan goes to Sloan. Out the back, Luciano Leilua very wide there. Put a fend on Ruben Garrick. Taken down eventually by Cherry Evans. Comes from Fiona. to DeBellin. Now Hunt bypasses Sewer. Goes from Sloan. Another good pass from Fionney to Zach Lomax, who dives in to score for the Dragons.
It looks like he might have injured himself here. Shoulder problem. The right shoulder to Lomax.
Got no try, Bucky.
Got no try.
Just looking to confirm and knock on over the ground.
Like he got the ball down at first glance. We'll see the replay. He's not real well at the moment. And here's the finish here from Lomax after a sweeping move. He rolled his hand over the top of the ball as he lost it there. Don't know if it's ever come. Yeah, it's come loose. That's no try.
Control the ball to the ground and knocks it on in the end goal. We have a decision.
It's a little bit unfortunate. It was good defensively from the Saints to get the ball back. And a sweeping move down the right-hand side. Lomax just couldn't finish.
No try for the Dragons, as close as that. And one of the Origin reps, Zach Lomax. Michael Maguire watching on, obviously nervously today with 2 more games, this one. And then the Knights and the Panthers to follow right here on the Sunday ticket. We'll be hoping that all these reps, indeed, so will, of course, the great Billy Slater be hoping that the Queenslanders get through unscathed here this afternoon. As Manly work it forward, Toff Sipley play just short of the halfway line. Jake Travojevic bypasses Ben this time. Brooks comes away to Tolu Kola. Goes inside the Dragons 40. Midway through the set. Back to Jake once again. Charges hard there at Tom Eisenhuth on this right edge of the Dragons defensive line. Now a short side raid. Brooks coming back in behind the play the ball. They've got one more here. Cherry Evans very flat at first receiver. Will kick out to the right-hand side. Jason Saab is the target. Flies highest, but couldn't come up with the ball. A real battle there against Tuapolotu, and then Sloan taken down only just by Garrick. Otherwise, he was going to go 80 metres.
Gee, it was a good play too. After the bomb was caught, just the pass back on the inside straight to Sloan. He was away. Something a little bit different from the Dragons at the back end of the field. And it was only the tackle by Reuben Garrick that stopped him. Otherwise, he was away. Here's the replay. Just in the replay box there. There's the offload. Lux of fortune. Nice tackle there from Garrick.
Now an offload here comes back to Max Fionney. Matt Fionney was going to be on the left wing. Now moving into the centres, of course, with that injury to Moses Suli. So Tuapolotu playing on the wing, the former Sea Eagle. Matt Fionney at left centre. They head in his direction now. Flanagan, too late lure. It's an arm free almost. Cherry Evans there wrapping up the ball to make sure the pass couldn't come. And the Dragons have one more play. It's Flanagan who'll kick across the field. Lomax was infield looking for it. Sloan didn't really contest the ball. It'll be a knock on, you would think, against the Dragons. No, in fact, Hopewadi just falling on the ball. I'm sure they were waiting for a whistle there, but the whistle says Manly dropout.
Gee, I thought it was a knock on there by Sloan. Coming through, trying to collect the football, competing for it.
Oh, off his knee, in fact. He's thrust out the right hand, but didn't get a touch on it. So good call on field by Peter Goff, and now the Cherry Evans going short. He has it come down on a 5-cent piece, but Little cleans up. All he had to do was grab the ball and fall in to score. And he's levelled things here at 4 apiece. Manly roll the dice. They go short, but it costs them points.
Yeah, well, they go short, and firstly, you should try and catch the ball straight away, not try and knock it back, because that's exactly what can happen here. You got the ability to catch the ball on the full. And it's one of the Manly players, I think it was Garrick, went up and just tried to knock the ball back, hit it a little bit too hard, and right on the spot there, it is Garrick, knocks the ball back. Little right on the spot, bounces in his arms. And the Saints, after being a little bit unlucky earlier through a disallowed try there to Lomax, they get on the scoreboard. Something a little bit freaky, but they're on the scoreboard as it is.
You take them as they come, and there you see again Garrick up there trying to contest it. Little only had to wait for it to come down to him and fall over the line. Try confirmed by the bunker after they took a look at that contest. And so a real piece of luck to get the goal line dropout in the fashion they did, with Sloan trying to play at the ball, but the ball missing his hand, coming off his knee. Manly forced to drop it out. It was a very good one from Cherry Evans, but I guess it's a double-edged sword sometimes. Not the first time we've seen that happen in 2024, with more teams trying to utilise that short dropout. Lomax from just outside the 20. Strikes it well. Swings away, though, to the left-hand side. We are still locked up here at Four Pines Park.
A double blow for the Seagulls as Jacob Little crossed for that try there to get the Dragons on the board. Taniela Paseka, we've just had word that his afternoon is over. The Seagulls front rower has suffered a right thumb injury, possible small fracture in that. He will need scans to determine that. So Manly down a prop here to start this game. And of course, the Dragons, they lost Moses Sully in the warm-up. So some injury dramas early at Four Pines Park.
That is a real blow. I guess they don't quite cancel each other out, a centre and also a front rower, but dramas in the early going for both teams. Here is Taniela Paseka. Got the mouth guard on the ear still. It looks like he's going to be a spectator for the remainder of the game. Maybe a needle in the sheds might have helped it numb the pain for the moment. We saw the pain he was in when the trainer was wrenching on that thumb blocker.
Yeah, nothing worse than that. You just try and get yourself going. You're warm at the time, and then he would have probably cooled down now, got the needle. He's catching the ball there on the sideline, so just wondering if he's out here. He's down there with the doctor, trying to keep himself to at least go back on the field by the look of it.
So we're playing it here as they go back towards the middle to Bellin.
There's a Manly player down in the back plate that has not moved.
And there's more drama here for the Seagulls in the middle of the field. Eisenhuth with the ball out the back. It goes to Little. He gives it off to Fionney. Cuts back in off that left foot. That's Matt Fionney playing at left centre. Toff Sipley now has a big issue. Still down on the ground. 12 versus 13. And the Dragons will go in again. Kyle Flanagan this time. They keep it alive. The Seagulls are man short defensively. And the Dragons find a hole.
There's a couple others down too. Garrick just getting to his feet now. Flanagan gets a try. Good support play. Back up on the inside. They go the short side. It was Little who initially got the ball away, and away they went, the Dragons. Got some good, strong players through the middle. There's Milo with the ball. Back on the inside. And you see Little get the football back here. Off the ground. The catch and pass. They keep going forward. And the Saints all on the ball today. Go up that short side, and away they go again. Hunt. Back to the short side, the pass back on the inside. Leilua with a perfectly timed pass. No look back on the inside there to Flanagan. And the Saints go back to back.
Kyle Flanagan, 5th try this season. Career high for him in a single season. Along with Ben Hunt's been doing a terrific job in the halves, as they perform way above expectations in 2024, looking for their 8th win of the season and a move, with one more game to be played later this afternoon between the Knights and the Panthers. A win for the Dragons would move them into the top 8. Lomax here pushes them out by 6 under brilliant blue skies on the northern beaches. It's a sad sight for 12-for-4 Sipley, like Taniela Paseka, coming from the field. So both starting front rowers with problems here. And he clutched at that left knee, which is already heavily taped as well. So he goes straight up the tunnel towards the dressing room. And now there's also a problem here for Reuben Garrick, who is coming from the field with a head knock. So he'll go to the dressing room for the full HIA.
Yeah, it looks like they'll be down to 2 men on the beach. Garrick on the bench. Garrick just coming off now to the head bin. Lawton going onto the field. So big reshuffle now. There's the Garrick injury there. Might have just caught a hip on the way down. Straight away holds his head. Gee, that was good play from Hunt too. He saw Garrick was down, so he went back up that short side where he should have been defending. And the Saints come away with a try. Falling like flies, the Manly side.
They are at the moment. We'll just take stock here in a few seconds' time as Molo takes it forward. So the Dragons lose Sully to a hamstring twinge in the warm-up. Tuapoloto comes in for him. And then Taniela Paseka suffers a thumb injury in the opening couple of sets of 6. Torfa simply a knee problem. There is Paseka. They've got that right thumb strapped up for the moment. And now Ruben Garrick also off for the head injury assessment. It is all hands on deck for the Seagulls here, and they trail by 6. Ball comes free, though, for the Dragons. And Manly will get a chance to hit back here. Jack de Belin pleading a case with his teammates. Jacob Little there, not convinced, but they should challenge that, and they will keep their powder dry for the moment.
Yeah, he didn't look real confident. Just tried to slip that ball out in the last second. It was a horrible pass, really. They didn't need that. The coach will be disappointed in that. Little, you couldn't expect him to take that ball. Not a genuine offload there, and a mistake from the Dragons.
Looked like he was pleading a case that it was helped out by the Seagulls, but no doubt he was trying to offload there, and just a little knock on as a result. So Cherry Evans here, 40 out from the Dragons line. They scored with their first real chance inside the red zone through Lehigh Hopewadi. Given up 2 tries since then to the Dragons. Brooks waits at dummy half. Comes to Carl Lawton, who's out there now. So a very much reshuffled lineup here for the Seagulls. And at the moment, Ben Travojevic has gone to right centre, having started the game as the left edge forward. He's a versatile type. It might well need to be for the remainder of this game. Comes through the hands now of Brooks. He finds Hopewadi. Here is Kohler. Good tackle there made by Fione on this right edge of the Dragons' defensive line. Brooks comes back through Simpkin. Now Brown hands it off to Jake Travojevic. They stop him under the shadows of the Bob Fulton stand. Cherry Evans, short ball. Olakuwatu. Nothing doing there. Good tackle underneath by Kyle Flanagan, and the Dragons get the changeover.
Yeah, not a bad place to turn over the football, but the Manly side will be trying to hold them on their goal line. We'd like to get Olakuwatu a little bit more ball. He's strapped up out there. Come with a little bit of a calf injury into this game. Destructive ball runner.
Given the way they're going down, yes, Anthony Seibold might have his heart in his mouth watching Olakuwatu. He had that problem last week against the Panthers. Didn't finish the game. I think it was more a bit of a swelling behind the knee as much of a calf issue, but he does have a bit of strapping on that left calf as Molo strides out here. Brings it back within 10 of the halfway line. Comes back now for Hunt to kick from inside the 40. They'll let this bounce. An awkward one here for Saab up against the sideline. Got some composure, though, to just keep his cool, end up with the ball, and plays it just outside the 30. Kicking has been producing results in recent weeks. Ben Hunt had it on a string last week in that big win against the Tigers. They rolled out a 56-14 scoreline down in Wollongong. Simpkin waits. That pass there for Brown to get going quickly. Recently extended his time with the Seagulls until the end of 2026. As Simpkin jumps out from dummy half. Manly have one more play. It's Cherry Evans on the right-hand side, who'll kick towards Terrell Sloan, coming across, makes the catch. Not a bad chase on him. Olakuwatu grabs him by the scruff of the neck and swings him to ground.
Yeah, pretty hard to put him down, isn't it, Sloan? He's got that wonderful little skip and trying to get on the outside. It was a good tackle there by Olakuwatu. Manly have done well so far the last few sets after the reshuffle. They've been all over the shop early in the game. Just got to complete. That's the big thing from them. Try and put the Dragons in a difficult position. They've done so far.
Luciano Leilua, left-hand side of the field, will take it up towards the halfway line. Last play here, Hunt with a foot on the line, so it wouldn't count as a 40-20, but won't matter anyway because Tommy Talau is here and bringing it back. Much quieter opening to this game than what he had against the Panthers just 7 days ago. Brooks waiting at dummy half. Only trying to work a way back into this game to level things up. We're midway through this opening half. First of 2 games on the Sunday ticket here on Fox League. Ben Travojevic now playing at right centre. So Lawton has taken over on the left-hand side of the field. Travojevic going to the right. Through the middle, it's Corey Waddell. We'll play it here just outside the 30. Trbojevic from Brooks comes across to Lawton. We'll play it about 15 metres out from the Dragons line. One more play here for the Seagulls as Brooks feeds it for Cherry Evans. He'll kick out wide towards Saab. He has the leap, but again his hands betray him. The Dragons won't mind that because they'll get possession 10 out from their own line.
Yeah, perfect position there again there from Daly Cherry Evans. Across field kick for Saab. I think the Saints just allowed him just to knock that ball back in field. No really competition for that cross-field kick that time. So Manly are doing pretty well hanging in here.
Given all the injuries and the reshuffles they've got at the moment, attack, you've got to understand it being a little bit clunky here for the rest of this game. And the pressure will really fall on the shoulders of Cherry Evans and Brooks in particular. Now the Dragons. Through Jaden Sill. We'll play it here to Little. Here's Hunt outside, inside. They were waiting for Sloan, though. Good work there by Lawton in particular. Hunt kicks. They might have been offside on the chase. Tommy Talau, as Lomax goes up for it, knocks it on, and Talau was happy to let Lomax play at that ball and make a tackle if needed. Didn't work out that way, and Zach Lomax, who is, like Jason Saab, a real target here this afternoon, just never really attempted to make much of a catch there, did he?
No, it looked like he was just trying to tap that ball back in field. We see that a lot of times now. I've got to say that young Brown, Nathan Brown, just watch the way he motors onto the football. He's the one that's keeping Manly right in this game. It's got to be a gutsy effort too. You just can't really get into any sort of rhythm with all that sort of changes.
Jake Trbojevic here, just short of the halfway line. Comes to Cherry Evans, who shows it on the inside. Kawatu trying to fend away there from Flanagan. Ball goes to ground. Manly stopped as though there was going to be a knock-on call. Nothing doing, so it is play on. 2 tackles left in this set. Cherry Evans kicks one early. Sits up nicely, though, for Sloan. The kick is a staggered one. Good fend on Cherry Evans from the Dragons fullback, and here he is, eventually running into a dead end named Carl Lawton.
Yeah, he's got a great ability. Just get on the outside of people. Sloan with speed. And there's another good tackle there. The Saints the last couple of minutes have been trying to force the issue and force the passes. They don't need to do that. Just got to attack Manly's middle. They're down a couple of men. And they've got to try and tire him out rather than trying to throw the miracle ball every so often there. Every time they've got a set of 6, they try to throw that miracle pass out the back. I think the coach will be sending a message. Let's try and punch through the middle a little bit more, tire them out, win the right to do that sort of play.
That was a real part of Zach Lomax's game for a couple of seasons under Anthony Griffin. They work so hard to remove those flick passes, especially in situations like that on a yardage set. Let's put them under pressure here. He was pleading a case, Zach Lomax. It was touched by Manly. That's why the pass went to ground with the touch judge eventually telling the on-field referee that wasn't the situation. And here are Manly off the back of that error, going on the attack. Kyle Flanagan here, some strong defence. Hapawati towards the sideline there, and the lightweight fullback almost crossed the chalk. Here is Jake Trbojevic, New South Wales Origin captain. He'll play it for Simpkin. Deep on the left-hand side, they go back to Cherry Evans, though. Out the back, he finds Kawatu stepping in traffic, just too strong from close range. Little trick shot down the short side. He grabs their second try. See the referee there just motioning. They'll just check to make sure there was no obstruction, but what a weapon he is.
Yeah, he did it so comfortably too. After the St George Illawarra side made the break 20 metres out from their line, trying to flick the ball out the back. He's the go-to man. Cherry Evans, the second man play, straight away, standing start. Look at that, too strong, pushes away. Couple of feeble attempts at tackles. I think they're going to look at the obstruction here on Flanagan. At least he made it across to try and make an attempt there on Kawatu. I don't think he would have stopped him. I think think they might hold this one up here.
Yeah, I'm not so certain about that. He runs to the outside shoulder and knocks Flanagan out of the defensive line from where he would have been. Flanagan has a play at the end, but not the tackle he would have had on Olakau'atu, and I think that look there from Amoli Olakau'atu tells you that he thought there might have been a problem. Well, the bunker says try confirmed.
Wow. Well, I think what they are saying is he did get obstructed on the way through and then got the ability to try and make the tackle there. Kyle Flanagan went across to try and make the tackle there on Olakau'atu. Just too strong. What about that? Just fending away. Leilua couldn't make the tackle. You've got to be a bigger effort than that when you're going to try and stop that guy. You've got to get in front of him and put your body on the line. Unfortunately, he got that fend out and away he went.
Well, Kyle Flanagan is just too honest there. Had he fallen over, there's no doubt that would have been called obstruction. But he stays on his feet, ends up making a tackle, but blocked out of the line there by Ben Travojevic. That's a huge surprise that try stands here. Manly bring it back within 2, and Cherry Evans, Reuben Garrick off the field doing the kicking, strikes it well, but it fades on the breeze. It'll be the Dragons still leading here. 13 remaining in the first half, 10 points to 8.
Hamole Olakau'atu, that's 4 tries in his past 5 games against the Dragons, including one in the last 3. He picked up a calf injury against the Panthers last week, playing just 24 minutes. Scans cleared him of any serious strains or tears during the week, and he'll be very happy putting on a good performance here today as he tries to work his way back into that blue side for Game 2. Got 24 minutes in Game 1, so Michael Maguire, the Blues coach, will be very encouraged by his signs today. Still waiting on information on Reuben Garrick and Toff Sipley, guys. Daniel Paseka still on the bench, but still highly unlikely to return because of that thumb injury. But given the injury situation that Manly are in, could be forced to push through the pain.
Well, I'll have to. There he is waiting on. The only other replacement they have started with 17. They only have 14 available at the moment. It's Ethan Bullymore who is on his feet behind the bench, anticipating a change perhaps before half-time here, given the work they've had to do in the middle of the field. And Nathan Brown was out there much earlier than expected. As Cherry Evans on his right-hand side comes to Hopewadi, standing in the tackle, loses his shorts. He's got the nice pink bike pants on underneath. As they take it forward here through the try scorer himself, Olakau'atu. Big set here for the Seagulls. Just outside the 30, when Cherry Evans puts up an attacking kick, Saab coming through, it bounces. Sloan didn't get anywhere near it, and in the end has to scurry to take the ball dead.
Gee, they've got a set play there, haven't they? Cherry Evans going back to the right side to Saab all the time. He was in perfect position. Sloan, the fullback for the St George Illawarra side, didn't attempt to catch the ball on the full. Olakau'atu just charging, causing all sorts of problems. You'd love to see him have 20 carries a game. He might be carrying a little bit of a niggling injury, but geez, a power pack. Throws out that left arm, that big left fend. Hard to handle.
Short one here by the Dragons, and they get a result from a short dropout this time. This one off their own boot. After Little scored from the Cherry Evans dropout earlier on, and now Sloan breathing a massive sigh of relief after he let that bomb bounce. It'll cost them points, but instead they'll work it away here through a penalty. And there is Tor for 4 Sipley, very stiff-legged, walking back towards either the bench or the dressing room for Manly, but it's impossible to see him returning to the field of play here today.
Yeah, he doesn't look like he'll be back out there. You can't really do much with the knees, so I think Manly will be down.
The good news for the Seagulls, guys, Reuben Garrick is past his HIA. He's about to return to the field.
Well, that is a bonus for them. You'd imagine they'll get him out there very quickly. Flanagan throws a dummy, goes straight through, runs towards Hopewadi, gives it to Eisenhuth. Just popped the pass up, and Eisenhuth storming onto it. Stopped there by Lawton as Hunt turns it back on the inside. Sloan standing in the tackle. Brooks off the top turnbuckle, if you don't mind. Takes him to ground. Short side, Little, Sewer. Good defence again. Ball from Sewer, though, to Little. Here's Sloan staying alive. Oh, puts in an ad-lib kick, and he would like that moment back.
Yeah, just a little bit of offload happy at the moment, aren't they, the Saints? At the end of that set there, Sloan just trying to put on a little bit of magic. I reckon the coach will be saying, calm down a little bit, boys. No impossible offloads. You've got to complete against Manly, and wear them out through the middle. They've been pretty successful so far doing that, but what's really hurt them is that offloads that have gone to the ground.
Brown on that right-hand side as Manly work it away. They'll play it here just inside their own 40. Chance to go tackle early with their kick should they wanted to. Brown here again, boy. A couple of big carries there. Began the season on a train and trial deal, and now here he is with a contract until the end of 2026. He's been that impressive for Anthony Seibold. Kick goes down there to Zach Lomax, who was playing the fullback role in that set for the moment. Terrell Sloan just stationed out here on the right edge. Might be just a little breather for Sloan as much as anything, but Lomax in the fullback role.
Yeah, just having a look too. Just at Brown there, he's had a great impact on the game. Just hobbling too. Manly can't afford to lose him. Another man down would really be catastrophic for them. They're on the halfway line now, the Saints.
Little comes across here to Sewer. Fends away from Ben Travojevic. Back on this left-hand side with Ruben Garrick back on deck, playing at right centre. Little. He'll come back to Hunt, who puts it in the air. Awkward one here, landing almost in no man's land. Saab was there, didn't get a clean crack at it. Luckily, it comes back for Hopewadi. And Manly begin this set just outside their own 20 as Garrick takes the first carry.
Corey Waddell in back play is hobbling too. He's with the trainer at the moment too, as Manly get another penalty in their own half. It's a battleground out there at the moment for the poor old Manly side. They've hung on pretty well, 10-8 behind.
See Corey Waddell there just joining the line, but he is a bit like Toff Sipley, almost on one leg at the moment, really struggling. See how he fares. It might be back to 14 available in a few moments' time if he can't continue on. He heads out to the left-hand side, trying to run it out. Here is Brown, bypasses Waddell. Brooks going sideways, gives it off to Kohler. Sewer under... Wow, an obstruction call here. There was an issue there for the Dragons on this right edge. It opened up for Kohler. Brooks was headed directly towards the Manly bench. Just watch again here as he hands it off there, and then in the middle of the field, Ben Travojevic, who wasn't called for obstruction on the Olakau'atu try, is this time around.
Yeah, Toby Couchman made it look pretty good too. Good gamesmanship there to get the penalty. Just ran into one of the Manly sides that were just hovering around on the pass back on the inside. If they can complete a little bit better, the Saints. There we go. Another drop ball. Is that Ben Hunt just trying to think about what he's going to do before he gets it? And another mistake from the Saints.
It's a simple ball, boy, right on the chest as well. As good as he can be, and has been for such a long time, it's just one of those every now and again from Ben Hunt, right out of the blue. You don't expect him to put a ball down like that. Really lets the Seagulls off the hook, and we saw Corey Waddell struggling. Well, he's also come from the field, so Manly for the moment are back to just 14 available. We've still got 46 minutes remaining in this game, so Ethan Bullymore, who was the last man on the bench, is out there now taking it forward for the Seagulls as Brown has been enormous in this unexpected beginning to the game for the Seagulls. With Paseka going down with a thumb injury, and Brown in the early call-up off the bench has been very good. Hopewadi on this right-hand side comes to Garrick, taken out eventually there by Matt Fiona, and then the ball ends up in the hands of the Dragons.
Well, there was no dummy half there. A little bit of indecision from the Manly side. Just able to dive on that loose ball. That's another turnover. See, the biggest problem for Manly is there's going to be players playing big minutes that they're not used to. You've generally got a plan going into the game. Well, that's been thrown out the window now. There's a lot of guys that are going to have to dig really deep here.
Murdoch-Masila on deck now for the Dragons. It comes to Flanagan, then Hunt. Leilua back on the angle. Keeps it alive. Back to Flanagan. Here's Terrell Sloan. Sewer gets away from the tackle there of Kohler. Offloads back to Sloan. And now a chance as Couchman runs a long way before he's eventually dragged down from behind by Jake Travojevic. Last play for St George Illawarra. It's Hunt who takes them on from close range. Needs some strength here. Manly get numbers and hold him up.
Gee, he does it a lot, doesn't he, Ben Hunt? When the opportunity arises, and he picked it straight out there, they get the penalty. Is it a high tackle? Hunt just backs himself to try and score that close to the line. Manly were awake to it. They got numbers in the tackle to stop him.
Ethan Bullymore coming across in desperate cover defence there, collecting Ben Hunt high on the way through. They lead by 2, so you can't imagine they're thinking about 2 points here, but there is a pause because they can't find a footy. They'll begin 10 metres out. 4 minutes remaining in this opening half. Blake Laurie it is. He will play it for Little as they switch to the right-hand side from Flanagan back to Murdoch-Masilla. Tackle underneath there, made by Simpkin. Comes back to Hunt. Plenty of players in motion here. Oh, and Leilua had 3 players on his outside. All he had to do was get the ball to any one of them, but it comes free as he was about to pass.
He was just trying to get that right arm free just to pass that around the corner pass. It was a great tackle there. Whoever made it was on the side of Ruben Garrick. There's a replay box here. Oh, that's it. That's a good tackle there. Saab coming in off his wing to make that important tackle. As you said, they had the numbers overlapped. He tried to get that ball in the right hand and just offload around the corner. And Manly hang on again.
What a desperate tackle made by Jason Saab, and then Ruben Garrick has already been to the dressing room for the HIA. Hit heavily there by Christian Tuapolotu.
He might have to go again here.
Well, he's hoping that there's no call here from the independent doctor. Otherwise, Manly might be down to just a 13 on the field.
Yeah, well, he laid down there for a little while too. It looked like he was stunned by that tackle. Good scramble and good defence there from the Manly side. Playing some open, enterprising footy, the Saints. And just mistakes have killed them in the first half here.
And now we do have a stoppage, and this is going to be on the advice of the independent doctor. So Ruben Garrick removed from the field here.
Yeah, it was just the way that he laid down after the tackle. It looked like he was stung by it. Took him a while to get to his feet. And Ruben Garrick goes in for the second look. HIA, second time in the first half here.
Carl Lawton comes back onto the field, so Manly right now down to just a 13, and we'll find out for how long that is. Paseka off with a thumb injury, Sipley with a knee, Waddell with a knee or an ankle, and Ruben Garrick now out of the game for the Seagulls. Here is Brown in the middle of the field. And what an effort this is going to be. And the big boys in the middle in particular. Cherry Evans on the right-hand side. Ola Kawatu puts it down, and both teams just struggling with their handling in good ball situations in the last 5 minutes.
Yeah, they have, and the stoppages in the game are going to help the Manly side just to get a little bit of recovery there. Ola Kawatu again off Cherry Evans. Just trying to get the position to offload the football there. The ball comes spewing out. And the error's starting to mount for both sides. I reckon he can't wait to get him at half-time. Shane Flanagan, just let's simplify it a little bit, boys. Trying too hard to score. It'll come naturally because you'll wear the Manly side out by the look of it.
So only one more set each before half-time here. As the Dragons work it away from inside their own 30. There's a lot to talk about at half-time. Braith and the boys in the studio. The first of 2 games right here on the Sunday ticket. 2 tries apiece. Promised to be a very nip and tuck affair as we get downstairs to Jake.
Huge blow for the Seagulls, guys. Just had confirmation that Ruben Garrick is Category 1. He has been ruled out for this game.
Ruben Garrick out of the game, and Manly at the moment have 13 on the field, and that's all. Nobody for the moment available on the bench. It is a quite remarkable situation. Here is Little at dummy half. It comes back to Hunt, who will kick, chasing through. Flanagan's there. Lomax also. Good catch, though, made by Lehigh Hopewati.
Yeah, that was a magnificent catch, too. He's under all sorts of pressure there from Tyrell Sloan. Looked like at a pinch he could have got a good grab there, but unfortunately for him, Hopewati was a little bit too good there.
And Jerry Evans running it off on the inside there to Saab. Well, the back five of the Seagulls now need to be outstanding to help them out on these yardage sets. Given the injuries they've had, they've lost 3 forwards. Jerry Evans grubbering, a chance for Kohler. One of the real speedsters in the competition. Rounded up pretty quickly, though, there, as he had to pause to regather the ball. Maybe the last play of this opening half. Comes across here to Hopewati, stays alive, gets back to his feet, still going. Held off him. Eventually it was Murdoch-Vasilla who makes the tackle. He's knocked it on in the tackle as well. And that'll do us for an eventful opening 40 minutes here at Four Pines Park at Brookvale. At halftime, it is the Dragons who lead the Seagulls 10 points to 8. This man, well, he was hard to stop. Scored one of the 2 tries for the Seagulls in that first 40 minutes. Amoli Olakau'atu. What a weapon he is. Came off the field last week against the Panthers. You see him there just flexing that left knee and or calf muscle as well. And they'll be hoping that he gets through the remainder of this game, as will Michael Maguire, the New South Wales Origin coach.
Yeah, well, the big thing for Olakau'atu, he has to get through. Now they're down to no men on the bench, so whether he's injured or not, he's going to have to find a way. They need to get the football to him if they are to win. But 21 missed tackles for the Manly side in the first half. That'll start to mount.
Well, Nathan Brown gets the crowd at full revs as they bring it back out here, Manly, to begin this second half from their own 20. Ethan Bullymore on deck as well. As from Simpkin, it comes to Brown once again. His carries were enormous for Manly after coming off the bench for Taniela Paseka. Jerry Evans on the inside here for Olakau'atu, and Luciano Leilua was knocked 5 metres backwards by the impact.
Well, that's 2 big men coming together too. The technique not there from Luciano. Leilua just tried to take him front on there. Beautiful bump from Olakau'atu. They come down this short side again.
As Jerry Evans puts it in the air, Sloan coming forward here. Collision between Tuipulotu and also Saab, but no whistle, play on, and the Dragons have it at their own 10. So Manly get through their first set without incident. Watch this collision again, just change the angle there and hit him flush in the chest. Luciano was doing the fastest moonwalk ever.
He just couldn't get his balance there. That's so embarrassing, leaning on your butt like that. He'll try and get himself back into the game, I'm sure. Got wonderful skills. Already set up a try so far in that first half. Little kicking out of dummy half. Going for the 40-20. Has he got the angle?
It's a terrific kick. Ben Hunt does it once again. He does it for Queensland. He does it for the Dragons as well. And he had a foot just inside the red line. Out of dummy half, as if he was playing hooker for the Maroons in Origin. And it was an absolute beauty.
Gee, I should take that back. I gave Little a rap. I thought it was a dummy half kicking the ball, but it was Hunt getting himself in. That's a big play to start the second half. Here they come, the Dragons.
Puts them deep on the attack here. Manly up against it in all sorts of ways in this second half. Murdoch-Vasilla, head down, lunging towards the line. Stopped there by Bullymore. Now Flanagan looking up on the right edge with Jaden Sewer.
Great tackle, Brooks.
Way through this set. Flanagan comes back to Toby Couchman, who puts a little skip on. He's wrapped up there, still just 5 metres out from the Manly line. And now Flanagan on the inside for Leilua, who was hit by Nathan Brown. Good stop on the front rower. Last play here comes back to Hunt, who kicks out wide. Lomax is the target. Tommy Talau makes a catch up against the dead ball line. Not the end of the set they were hoping for, and now The Seagulls with 7 tackles here could work it forward and go deep on the attack as we go downstairs to Jake Duke.
Plenty happening for the Seagulls at halftime on the injury front. Toff Sipley with a knee injury and Corey Waddell with an ankle injury. They are going to press on at the moment, so they will still have 2 players on the bench. Manly, Ruben Garrick ruled out with a Category 1 HIA, and Taniela Paseka has given into that thumb injury. So Anthony Seibold just wants his side to invest in their defence in this second half and pull off a brave effort as Lawton goes through.
Lawton does go straight through, looks back on the inside, finds Luke Brooks. They've only got 13 available at the moment, but the Seagulls lead the Dragons here.
That's a gutsy play here from the Manly side to start the second half. Lawton playing out of position, normally a hooker, now playing in the back row on the left edge. Goes straight through, determined run, and just 2 turns up, back on the inside for the Harvey Norman replay is Luke Brooks. There's the clean break, look at that. Just turns the ball back on the inside and Brooks is away. And that'll give them plenty of confidence too. They'll strike up with the lead here. Just a one-on-one miss there. Just overlooked Hunt. Looked on the outside. It was Little who missed the tackle. Lawton couldn't believe his luck. Perfectly timed back on the inside. The little fella just streaks away. No one in sight. No one in front of him. And plants the ball under the posts.
Looking for their 7th win of the season. The Seagulls have their noses in front. They're definitely without Ruben Garrick and also Taniela Paseka. Toff Sipley and Corey Waddell would be used maybe in an emergency only should they suffer another injury. So it's the 13 fit players on the field for the moment. The job is theirs. For the time being, they're doing it pretty well from right in front. Cherry Evans converts. Manly lead the Dragons 14 points to 10.
Yeah, it's a must to be able to tackle one-on-one. Just skips out of the tackle there, Lawton. Manly, haven't they been gutsy to start the second half? They got themselves off to a good start of this second half. We thought they might have been under a little bit of fatigue. Not the case so far. That'll give them the energy they need. Great try to open the second half. Well done from Lawton.
As Lomax will get us underway. The Dragons came here trying to turn this into the House of the Dragons, but the new Season 2 of House of the Dragon begins tomorrow night, Monday, June 17. Streaming on Binge. You'll watch on Foxtel. House of the Dragon is back. It's the House of the Seagulls here at Brookvale, though. Here is Brown off the back fence, and they were there to meet him. 3 and 4 in front of him. What a carry by Nathan Brown.
Hasn't he got some ticker? He's been doing it all year here for the Manly faithful. They love him. Look at him. Just picks out someone and says, here, stop me if you're good enough.
He has been tremendous here today. And here he is again. Floating sideways now, doing some ball playing. Brooks out on the left-hand side, but the pass goes to ground. They got adventurous after Brown headed towards that left-hand side. They might have been better off sticking it up their jumper there and just getting to the kick, having just taken the lead. So it's Sewer. 30 metres out. Chance for the Dragons to hit back to Bellin through Flanagan to Leilua, taking some stopping there. Ben Travojevic drags him to ground, and was there a suggestion of pressure on the lower legs there from Ben Travojevic?
Well, I think that's what the penalty is for. It'll be interesting to see the replay. I think Ben Travojevic was on the ground as he's folded back over. Oh no, he's rolled up under that ankle. Surprised he's not on report there.
Well, doesn't lose his feet as such, but it's a technique which is, it's not even a first cousin, it's a full brother of a complete hip drop. I guess it's a three-quarter hip drop, if you like. For the moment, he's going to stay on the field, otherwise it was going to be 13 on 12. So Blake Laurie, 10 metres out, comes to Flanagan. It's in the back underneath here. Strong carry. They're just a few metres away from the line. Murdoch-Masila will play it there. Comes to Ben Hunt. Here's Flanagan again. Sloan slipping over. Turf is pristine here at Four Pines Park these days, so can't fault the playing surface. As Little on the right-hand side gives it off to Laurie, charging hard once again, but well handled by this Manly defensive line. 2 plays remaining in the set. Comes across to Hunt, goes over the top, what a ball it was. Lomax stops, starts, goes again. The Dragons have responded.
Oh, Carney set up a try. Ben Hunt, the pass over the top. Looked like one of the Manly players had slipped, which allowed Zach Lomax to finish off. Just have a look at this pass over the top. They've numbered it up pretty well. He just sees that they're a little bit short. They just slip over there. I think you'll find it was Tommy Talau. Just that little bit of slip. Had to get back to his feet to try and make the tackle. And Lomax too strong. It was denied a try early in the first half. He doesn't make that mistake again and scores.
So Manly made the error. They'd scored on that yardage set from their own end. Lomax try number 11 for the season. Dean Mariner on top. The Broncos for 12 tries to this point in 2024. What a race it is. The Ken Irvine medal. Top try scorer once again in the NRL. Nicely finished by Zach Lomax, who's taken to the wing. Is there a problem here with the put down? Ooh. It was coming free there. Try confirmed.
Gee, I've seen them pulled up before.
The ball seemed to come away from his hand, but the bunker saying he didn't lose control of the ball. And now you hear the boos ring out. The Manly fans seeing that slow-mo replay on the big screen here at Four Pines Park. There's Lomax. Pulls it across to the left-hand side. It stays locked up at 14-all. We've got a beauty right here in game 1 of 2 on the Sunday ticket today. Lomax. He comes up with the points. Touch of controversy, though, about it, potentially, depending on what jumper you're wearing, I guess, watching this one, Blocky.
Yes, I would say so. As I mentioned, I've seen them ones pulled up before. They have control all the way down to the try line. Looked like it just rolled off and his forearm has finished it off. A little bit of a bobble there. Anyway, I think it was Talau that was trying to come over the top to just loosen that ball a little bit, but anyway, we play on.
That last angle there from side on suggests the ball was wedged between his body and his arm, and now here he is. So he ends up with possession. Only just an awkward one to handle there off the restart from Manly. 31 minutes remaining, 14 apiece here. Sun shining on the northern beaches as Blake Laurie will work it forward and play it just inside the Dragons 30. Little back to this right-hand side where Jaden Sewell was set upon pretty quickly. Good work by the Manly markers there. Jake Simpkin around the legs in his first game as a Sea Eagle. Now Murdoch Masilla. It's Hunt with the kick on the last tackle. Go down here to Lee Hopewadi. The points going for Manly today when he crossed in the 6th minute of the game. First chance they had inside the 20. And the lead has gone back and forth from that point on. Jason Saab infield. Going sideways there though, wrapped up by Leilua. Toru Kola trying to use his speed and find a way through the tackle of Toby Couchman. Quick play the ball. Simpkin jumps out. Were they there at marker? Referee says yes, but they were very deep, Couchman and also Laurie.
Yeah, Manly's back 5 have got a real big job to do here. We saw Saab coming in the second tackle. Last time he's got plenty of room to move in there, Cherry Evans.
Pressure here from Cherry Evans. Or Jake Travojevic had no idea where that ball was. Almost landed on the top of his head. Instead, a second kick. Hunt cleans up for the Dragons. And it's Lomax who'll be tackled at their own 20. Strange situation there. Jake Travojevic, he only thought he had was I'm going to tackle whoever catches it. Well, in the end, it almost hit him.
He come off his leg and went back. Here's another offload. Here's Sloan just trying to inject himself through the middle. That's where he's going to be the most dangerous. I think you'll find he will bob up everywhere. Molo is up, just back onto the field. Had a good first stint. And that's a good run there to start his second.
Yeah, huge meters with Manly on their heels defensively as Hunt stabs one through the line, going back to Lau. Awkward bounce. Does well, wants to keep it in the field of play, and does, but only just. Brooks only just gets there to dummy half. Defeated off to Lehigh Hopewadi, who, as you can hear, the locals thought was collared a little bit high there. It's only back to his feet. Last thing they can afford now is another injury, especially in the outside backs. Here is Cherry Evans, who goes over the top. Jason Saab on the gallop, gets away from Tuipulotu. He stumbles as he runs towards Sloane. DCE taking a chance from his own end. Big meters for Manly. Back down the short side. Olakau'atu kicking. Sloane turning in, coming out, eventually wrapped up.
Gee, that'll break the play up too, won't it? Saints have got to retreat now and start to get the ball, get behind that ball, start to take it up. It was a good play there from Cherry Evans. A crossfield kick for Saab, arrived right at the right time, perfectly weighted. Something a little bit different from Manly there.
Lomax coming in field here for a carry to help them out of their own end. 14 apiece, 3 tries all between the Dragons and the Seagulls here this afternoon. Jaden Sewer stopped here on the last. Chance for Hunt again to kick, but from outside the red stripe this time. He'll go over the head or try to get it over the head of Hopewadi. He does, in fact. It'll be too big. It'll be Manly with 7 tackles from their own 20. Just watch this again. What a kick by Cherry Evans. Almost beautifully onto the chest of Saab, who only had to pause for a split second there and just gave the cover a chance to come across and wrap him up.
I thought he might have tried to head in field there and try and link up with some support. I don't know who would have been there, but he just ran the chance and the gauntlet of being pushed into touch.
Manly back at the halfway line here. To Lau infield. Takes into Dragons territory. Just the third play off the back of this 7-tackle set. There's a Lawton now. 40 out from the Dragons line. They'll work it to Jake Travojevic. Here is Cherry Evans. Comes to Olakau'atu back on the inside. Hopewadi goes straight through. Draws and passes. Ben Travojevic puts Manly back in front. What slick hands on this right-hand side. Filling in at right centre. Having started the game on the other side of the field in the forwards, Travojevic finishes it off. Manly lead at 18-14.
Yeah, it's just brilliant to watch too. The quick hands of Olakau'atu back on the inside. Ben Travojevic just lines up. Have a look at it. Any number of Manly players should have scored or could have scored. Pass back on the inside to Hopewadi. He beats a tackle. And look at that, perfectly timed. Looking on the outside. Gets the ball in the right position, beautifully passed. Great positioning there. The young fellas showing the way for Manly. Ben Travojevic scores, puts him in front. Olakau'atu, nice soft hands back on the inside to the speed man. They've got him again.
Ben Travojevic has spent time on the sidelines like his brother this year with hamstring problems. Back for the last month or so now, and his versatility has come in handy today, hasn't it? From the left edge position to right centre, with all the injuries Manly have. Ruben Garrick is off the field, ruled out with a Category 1 concussion after his second head knock of the day. So they're down to, well, maybe 14 available. Toff Sipley, as Cherry Evans lines up this kick, bouncing, trying to get some feeling back into his knee to return if needed. The kick goes wide. Manly lead by 4 with 24 minutes remaining here in Brookvale.
Great ball move by the Seagulls. Hamali Olakau'atu there, a soft touch inside to young Hopewadi, and then Ben Travojevic backing up. He's had a real breakout season for the Seagulls. His goal before the start of the year was to win us a spot in the starting side for the Seagulls. Not only has he done that, he's started every game he's played in. Versatile, playing the back row, playing the centres, and he's also secured a deal until 2027, which puts him on par with his brothers Tom and Jake in terms of length here at the Seagulls. He's having a great season and scores an important try there.
A big try. Short-handed as they are as far as replacements at the moment. Here's Brown again. He doesn't have a brake pedal. It's just flat to the floor. Acceleration. He brings it out. He gets up talking, clapping to the boys. The Dragons giving it to him. He doesn't care. He loves the contact.
Oh, he loves it, doesn't he? Here he goes again.
Now a shift on Kawatu on this right-hand side. What a carry it was. And they're all there. They know he's coming, but boy, you've got to stop him. Oh. Couple of enormous carries here. Speaking of enormous, big impact there. Tuipulotu infield crunching Cherry Evans. Simpkin at dummy half. We might take a look at that one again as Brooks drives it through the line here. It'll be Lomax coming forward. Oh, took an awkward bounce at the end, and luckily he didn't knock it on. Watch this contact once again. What a set of 6 for Manly off the back of points. And there was Sua and also Tuipulotu just giving it to Daly Cherry Evans.
Yeah, how tough is he? But straight to his feet, the halfback, played the ball quickly. It's a challenge. It's starting to rev up now. Let's see what Manly have got. They're trying to retaliate now after some big hits. With Big Jake leading the way. They got enough left. The poor old Manly side. Down to no one on the bench. They've been gutsy.
One more here as Eisenhuth will play it for the Dragons. Crowd really invested in this contest now as Hunt goes long. Catch made there. Well, it looked like Hopewadi got his left boot in the in goal before he caught the ball. The referee, though, disagreed. And the whistleblowers invariably are very good at ruling on those situations, but Hopewadi certainly thought he got a foot back there. Watch again, foot down, and then makes the catch.
Yeah, you got that one wrong by the look of it. Anyway, we play on. You have a look at the Manly side. It's been Lawton on the left-hand side playing out of position to set up a try, and on the other side on the right, the young fella's leading the way. The break made by Hopewadi. Here's Brown again. Oh, flips over.
Putting on a little shimmy, a little bit of angle on the run as he came towards Couchman and slipped over as Cherry Evans will kick down here. It sits up for Tyrell Sloan. Olakau'atu down there leading the chase, gets to him and monsters the Dragons fullback who gets back to his feet. He was tackled there already. We're not quite midway through this second half. Manly 18 against the Dragons 14. Manly for the moment with only the 13 players on the field, perhaps Toff Sipley available in an absolute emergency. Ben Hunt at dummy half. What you see is what you get as far as options for Manly here on the field at the moment. Lomax will play it for Little. Now Couchman back in behind the play the ball. Good carry there. Comes out to Hunt, who will kick from the halfway line down towards Hopewadi once again. Look up and see a nice straight line from the Dragons chasers. Good work there, ticking all the boxes for coach Shane Flanagan. Looking for a win today to make it for their 8th for the season. Here's a shift and Cole is away. Not quite ankle tapped. Comes back on the inside to Saab. He runs to Sloan, who gets a piece of him. And Saab somehow stays in the field of play. Kohler feeds it to Cherry Evans. Goes through the hands of Simpkin. Here is Brooks. Now they keep it going. They're just outside the 20. Simpkin from dummy half. Looks to Hopewadi. Comes back to Cherry Evans. Oh, Travojevic gets crunched now. Francis Molo was there to meet him. Cherry Evans grubbering. Olakau'atu was the target. They can't get it into the in goal, and it was Kyle Flanagan who ended up with it, and he thinks he might have worn one around the side of the ear or neck from Olakau'atu.
Yeah, he was on the ground too, just trying to clean up that loose ball. Here's the hit. Here's the hit there on Big Jakey. Molo making an impact. Is this high or is he falling? There's nothing really in that. Just grabs him by the Guernsey, drags him on the ground. I tell you what, it's a funny game, isn't it? Manly are under the pump. And they're the ones that are playing the expansive football. They've got no one on the bench, and they're the ones that are throwing the ball around. The Saints have got into a little bit of a lull at the moment.
I was going to play on, mate, so... Yeah, mate, just wait.
Well, off the back of that replay, the players looking up to see the
so just penalty on
the contact there. Well, it is going to be a penalty. It can be no more than that. Hamoli Olakau'atu being called out here.
Well, it's been reviewed in the background. There is high contact, so it's on report. We're going to have a penalty down here.
Unlucky there with the way that Flanagan in the end ducked the head. Perhaps good thing he ducked the head, otherwise it might have got him flush on the jaw. So either way, can't make contact with the head, we know that. So it's an obvious Dragons penalty here, and they'll work it away from their own line. While they were attending to Kyle Flanagan, Brown was there, Olakau'atu. He wants to mix things up, and boy, the next couple of carries here off this kick for a line might be interesting. And Kyle Flanagan will have to go from the field for an HIA. We have 20 minutes remaining. He's going to miss the majority of the rest of this game. And Daly Cherry Evans, a couple of words of advice for Kyle there as he makes his way towards the dressing room. But listen to the send-off he gets from the Manly fans.
Yeah, I think they might have thought he might have just laid down. There was not real big heavy contact there from Olakau'atu. And that's the risk you run if you lay down like that. I'm not saying that he wasn't hit in the head and hit badly, but if you lay down, that's what happens. You go into the HIA. They'll be revving up now, Manly. They think they've been hard done by. The crowd's starting to get behind them now. Have a look at them. They're ready to go.
Injuries and reshuffles. Here's Brown meeting Jaden Sewer. He was always going to be up there to make a tackle. And now here's a chance as they work it forward through Matt Fionney. He'll play it just outside the 40, but Brown and company are ready and there once again. Leilua runs towards Corey Waddell, who is back on deck here for the Dragons. Little from dummy half comes across to Molo, spinning, taken down by Jake Travojevic midway through the set. Now Hunt without his 5/8 out there, so change for the Dragons on this left-hand side of the field. Here's Eisenhuth coming back towards the middle. He'll take it inside the red zone, and the Dragons have one more play. Little feed it across to Ben Hunt. Sloan is out the back. They put it through the hands. There was nothing doing there. He passed it forward. It'll be Manly's possession here, but there's a whistle and now a penalty for the Dragons being offside.
You know, that was some sort of tackle there by Kohler. What he did was make the decision to go after Sloan and put the pressure on him. See him standing there straight into him, which forced the offload. Manly hanging on well. The more they get revved up by the Saints, the better they're going. They're just giving them plenty of adrenaline and plenty of passion to keep going. Got themselves in front here. Manly have had the better of the second half, football-wise, the way that they've played. Let's see if they can keep it up.
Which is remarkable, given they were down for a long period in this game to just the 13 available players on the field. Here is Lawton. Made that big bust earlier in this second half. Eventually scored through Luke Brooks. Comes back to Bullymore, who works it inside the 30. Manly by 4 here, a long way from full time. Nathan Brown, what a performance from him today. Gets a breather at the moment. Corey Waddell is back out there. They're inside the 20. Short side raid here. Cherry Evans handing it off to Olakau'atu, who beat Leilua. There was help there from the outside in the shape of Francis Molo. Last play for the Seagulls. Cherry Evans grubbering. It's a beauty for Jake Travojevic. It's Gerbo who pounces.
Oh, what about that? Jakey never out of the game, is he? The Manly crowd stand as one. They go ape, don't they, as he scores this try. Well done from Jake Travojevic, perfectly weighted. Just have a look at Cherry Evans go right through to the line. Little grubber kick, finds the gap. Jakey just follows through as hard as he can and scores. They're going to be hard to beat now, the Manly side. I know there's plenty of time left on the clock, but they've gone back to back. The skipper gets over.
Talking of skippers, the Queensland skipper kicks for the New South Wales skipper. And it's points for Manly. 4 will become 6 here in a moment. 3 Origin players apiece. The Seagulls and the Dragons today, but both skippers from Origin 1 in the Manly lineup. Interesting dynamic given what happened in game 1 with Jake playing limited minutes. New South Wales playing 72 minutes. And just the 12 players after the Suwali'i send-off. Now Cherry Evans from right in front off that delicious kick. He'll make this a 10-point lead. Kicks it high into the Lions' Menzies stand. Manly backs against the wall today with all the injuries, and especially very early in the game, but it gets no better than that.
Well, Cherry Evans' kicking game, how many tricks has he got in his bag there? We've seen that little short side kick straight over the top for Saab, the grubber kick. His kicking game has been immaculate. Cherry Evans has put Saints under all sorts of pressure, just hemming them into the corner. It's been an A-grade performance here from Daly Cherry Evans.
Speaking of A-grade performances, Bryson DeChambeau in round 3 of the US Open was incredible this morning. He'll take a 3-shot lead into the final round at Pinehurst in North Carolina. Of course, you can see all the action tomorrow morning. Join us from midnight tonight. The final round of the 124th US Open, trying to become a 2-time champion. Bryson DeChambeau up against the likes of Rory McIlroy, who is still very much there with a chance. Breaking a major drought, Rory. 10 years since he last won a big one. Here's Olakau'atu on the right-hand side. It'll feel like a major victory if Manly can hang on here today, given the adversity they have faced. As Olakau'atu plays it, Ben Trbojevic, he works it up towards the 40. 2 plays remaining in this set. Simpkin, his service from dummy half has been good in his first game in the NRL, the former Tiger. Now with the Seagulls after the mid-season switch, and last play, Cherry Evans to kick from just outside the 30. Put some pressure here on Sloan. Olakau'atu and Sua came together there, and the chase. No call as such from the referee, and play on here for the Dragons.
He just comes away with the right kick every time, doesn't he? Cherry Evans got a wonderful kicking game, whether it be short or long, or just those little dabs over the top. And Sloan's had a tough afternoon trying to bring that ball out from the corners. Have they got enough left? They look like the Saints are out in their feet. It's Manly who's playing all the football at the moment.
Francis Molo brings it back to the halfway line. One more here for the Dragons. Slowish play the ball, but no real pressure there on Ben Hunt. He and Cherry Evans, the Queensland teammates, a little chat after Hunt put that kick in and getting to the ground quickly. Hopewadi falls to the turf to keep it in Manly hands here, but only a metre out from their own line. There's a little long way to go in this game. That was always going to be a tough carry. Jason Saab under huge pressure there. 2 plays gone on top of their own goal line. And they'll work it forward, coming in to take a run. Tommy Kohler was there. In fact, it was Tommy Talau stopped inside his own 10. Waddell playing with that injury to the leg, suffered in the first half. Oh boy, he's not in a good way, is he, at the moment? He's out there just filling the breach. Toff Sipley still a chance to perhaps get back out there for the final few minutes if needed. They're battling on without him for the moment. The kick, a good one, going back a long way. Lomax on the fingertips. Brings it back in the bright sunshine. Unloads there to Tyrell Sloan, where they take the ground just outside the Dragons' 30.
Yeah, Cole just got a little bit of an ankle tap there on Sloan. We haven't seen him in broken field so far in the second half. He's been tripped over a couple of times as he's gotten going. All to do here for the Saints now.
Coming out to the left-hand side, Jaden Sua got a nice ball there from Tuipulotu. Dances away from the sideline, comes back towards Luciano Leilua. Looks towards Faitala Mariner, who's been on the bench a long time in this game. He's out there now, though, as they work it forward through Max Fionney. He'll be stopped just inside the 20. Quickish play the ball. Leilua showing it like Benny Elias a couple of times. Here's Ben Hunt. He gives it to Sloan. Throws a big dummy. Comes back to Little. He'll eventually concede to the tackle. And that is 4 gone for the Dragons. They're flat on both sides of the field. Hunt here down the short side. Leilua in his hip pocket. Nothing doing there, though. And this will be the last. Fitted from Fionney. Comes back to Hunt. The kicks to the outside of the uprights. Lomax coming in at speed. He ended up with the ball. Did he get it down? The referee thinks he may have.
He showed great strength, didn't he? They're going to award it by the look of it. Hang on.
Oh, there was quite a discussion.
He just rolled out of the tackle
No
there.
try.
Lomax, they've got no try. Held up, is he?
Lomax is either short of the line or loses the ball short of the line.
Well, I thought for a moment there that the referee was going to point to the spot and award the try, but after a discussion with the sideline official,
We've cleared the Dragons' kick chases on side.
he thought it either came down just short of the line itself or, in fact, knocked it on. Off the right hand of Lomax there, but
It's
backwards
the
you'd
right
imagine.
hand of Zach Lomax into the Manly defender who was in front of him. This is a knock on. We have a decision.
I would have thought that knock was back towards his own line there, Lomax. I know it touches Luke Brooks, but
I thought he was dragging the ball back towards his own goal line there.
I know he's in front of his body, but he's not in front of where the point of contact was. And he ends up with the ball and... oh, boy, eventually got it down.
Great strength, eh?
Ruled a knock on in mid-air in that contest. Well, again, he'll be the bunker at home. And I think I would have given that the green lights.
I think I'm with you.
There's Bullymore.
He's been good, Bullymore. Playing a lot more minutes than what's expected every week.
Comes across to Travojevic, who's trying to stay in the field of play here. Off the back of that moment. Anthony Seibold coming to the sideline for the Seagulls. He knows the urgency here of the situation. His team low on petrol tickets, given how much work they've had to do, given they had nobody available on the bench for a long portion in this game.
And Brown back on too for the Manly side. He'll rev up again.
Just a quick fill up as Corey Waddell comes from the field once again because he was struggling.
It'd be super, it wouldn't be unleaded.
Here is Jerry Evans. We'll see if there's a couple more carries from Brown. Oh, Sloan had a swing and a miss. Flew through the air but didn't get a touch of the ball. Luckily it bounced up for Lomax. Here's Max Fionney running across the field. Might be a chance for the Dragons. Should he get away from the tackle there? He won't, though. Good effort in the end by Ola Kawatu. Grabs him again, and it will be a penalty.
Yeah, just gave him a little bit of a push in the back. Fionney was trying to get to his feet. It was a good run.
Kyle Flanagan has passed his HIA, guys. He will return to the game in 3 minutes.
Good news for the Dragons as they were forced into a reshuffle after he was ruled by the independent doctor to need an HIA. And they're back here at the halfway line, still trailing by 10 and a half minutes remaining. So more than enough time for a couple of tries here for the Dragons. What have they got, though? In search of win number 8 as Hunt comes across to Sloan. Turns it on the inside there for Fionney. Good tackle on that left-hand side made by Carl Lawton. Hunt at first receiver. Back on the inside there for Molo. So they're within striking range once again. 2 plays left in the set. They go back to the right-hand side. Faitala Mariner trying to spin, taken down. This is the last. Good effort there by Kohler. Hunt has to wait a long time for that one to come to him. Kicks back for Lomax. They'll do it over again. He didn't get a clean run to the ball, but not taken down illegally, say the officials.
Gee, you have to have a look at that again to see if any of the Manly players move their line. It was a deliberate kick across field there for Lomax.
Boy, Tolu Kohler. He just ran towards the general direction, but never really looked like being there to make a catch and took Lomax down. We've got another tough call against the Dragons there as Ola Kawatu works it forward, put a big fend on Matt Fionney. And they're back within 20 of the halfway line. Back end of the game. Hapawadi with a carry there. And now Cherry Evans down Main Street, stays alive. It goes to Brooks. He's got Bullymore with him. He almost gets away from Little, gives it on to Kohler, comes back to Brooks. Cherry Evans now, they just keep finding support players. Bullymore weaving in traffic, taken down eventually by Lomax. One more play here for Manly. It comes to Cherry Evans. He kicks, looking for a bounce, straight from room service.
He's a genius.
Jason Saab, he scores for Manly. It's a huge lead now. What a passage of play.
Oh, it was unbelievable. Manly players just kept turning up for each other. Bullymore, who's been outstanding, broke a couple of tackles, got the offload. And who do you reckon bobs up? Cherry Evans. They get the tackle under the post to quick play the ball. And again, perfectly weighted kick. There it is. There's the pass. They just all lining up to grab the footy. Cherry Evans again involved. Bullymore gets tackled. How good has he been for the Manly side this afternoon? And he sums it up so quickly. They try and rush Cherry Evans, grab a kick in and behind. And look at that bounce for Saab. This has been a brilliant win. I've never seen anything like this. Down to no men on the bench, the Manly side. Just the 13 to go out there. And they've been the ones that have played the bulk of the footy here in the second half. They've chanced their hand. That was a wonderful passage of play. Not long left on the clock. Shows the urgency of how much they want to win. And that's a great try.
Jason Saab just held his width. And Cherry Evans with his vision. That's a big part of his game. 319 games now in the NRL for this man, but all the poise in the world there off the back of making that long break. He had a couple of involvements. He was on the ground at one stage, got back to his feet, involved again, and then just summed it up so beautifully with a Dragon shot to bits. He knew they had players to burn on the right-hand side. Put in a beautiful kick for Jason Saab. He adds 2 more points. It's a huge scoreline now. It's really blown out. 30 points to 14 in favour of the Sea Eagles.
Well, haven't they got some tick out this Sea Eagles side? As I said, fatigue would have set in a long, long time ago, but they just turning up for each other. That's what teammates do. Bullymore's been outstanding. Brown, Olakawatu, they've had to do a lot more carries than what they would normally do had they had the full complement of men. This has been one of the Manly great wins. If they go on and win it 30 to 14, I think they really want to go on with it here. What a great passage of play that was.
Dragons will go short here, denying us a Nathan Brown kickoff return. Jason Saab flying, brings it down for the Sea Eagles, and he almost gallops his way into space as well. So Simkin comes to Lawton, tries to beat Eisenhuth, and just about did before he was wrapped up by Faitala Mariner. Brooks looking back on the inside. Still going, Luke Brooks, taken high by Sloan.
Leave it, Nathan, leave it. Leave it, Nathan. There's not much in there. Just listen. Yeah, mate.
He'll just wind down that clock. He'd have a shot here, wouldn't he? 30 out, or 32 metres out. Clumsy arm over the top. Penalty sufficient. Let's get on with it. He'll take his time now. Daly Cherry Evans. We'll have a shot. We'll go for 2, sir.
Exactly what they are going to do at this stage. No advice from the bunker in regards to that tackle being anything more than just a penalty, and they can use up some time on the clock here and push this out to 3 converted tries, the difference. Huge performance by the Sea Eagles, who next week will take on the in-form South Sydney Rabbitohs. That game, though, Origin affected. So this man, Daly Cherry Evans, won't be available. Olakawatu, barring injury here in the last 5 minutes, won't be available. You'd imagine Jake Travojevic, New South Wales captain in game 1. He'll also be missing for that contest. And the Rabbitohs rounding into a bit of form after just a terrible start to the season for them. That'll be a huge game. From 32 metres out, Cherry Evans hits the upright. It bounces here a couple of times before Max Fionney ends up with the ball. Well, the Seagulls weren't pushing forward there on a chase off the kick. They assumed it was either going dead or going for 2 points.
Yeah, they thought it might have been a gimme there. Give Saints a little bit of chance, but I don't know whether they're going to chance their hand here. The Saints been pretty boring, really. One outplay in the second half. It's been Manly that's played all the football here.
Ivan Hills brings it back to the middle of the field. Dragons, with this impending loss, will be 7 wins and 7 losses, and in 6 of the 7 losses they've conceded 30 points or more. That is a concern for Shane Flanagan, and it's something that needs to be addressed. Their defence was ranked 11th coming into today's game. The Seagulls were only 1 place better. Kick here off the side of the boot, chasing through. Lomax is there, fires it out the back. Fine cleans it up. Max, that is, weaves in traffic, looks to keep it alive. Flanagan back on the scene, gives it off to DeBellin. The Dragons still alive here until it was Jake Simpkin, the new Seagull, who ends up with it for Manly.
He's just slotted in beautifully, Simpkin. What a win it's been for the Manly side if they can just close out this last 4 minutes. Simpkin, as you mentioned a little bit earlier, his service to Daly Cherry Evans has been outstanding. Just the ball straight from the ground, giving him early ball. And what a pickup he's been for Manly. Here's Brown again. Here he goes.
Huge effort after being called much earlier into the game than he was anticipating, given the injury to Taniela Paseka in the opening minutes. Cut-out ball there from Hopewadi, touched by Tuipulotu, and it will be a knock-on against the Dragons, and they're in coast mode now. Manly, well, perhaps not quite just yet. 16 points the difference, 3 minutes remaining. They're probably home, but that one not going the way that Manly certainly expected. They've got their challenge here, and Daly Cherry Evans says, well, we challenge the fact that we don't think somebody was taken off the ball.
I understand. Bucky, captain's challenge. Manly are challenging the decision of a tackle off the ball after Dragons.
I thought Ben Dvojevic did grab the lead runner here.
Tuipulotu has touched the ball,
Ben
so he's fair game.
decides to grab the Dragons player after he knocks it on, denying him a chance to regather the ball. Challenge unsuccessful.
Challenge unsuccessful. No, you can't grab him, mate. Off you go. Mark's back here. He is halfway.
If you're past the ball blocker and you juggle it, you're not in possession of it, you can be tackled.
Yeah, as soon as you've touched it, yep. Is that right?
Front foot here, guys. Front foot.
There's some curious decisions today.
Wait for it here. Wait for the tap.
He knocked it on anyway.
That's right. He went forward into his hand before he could reconnect it, so recollect it.
Could have construed it that he was knocking it forward to his own advantage, which would have gone against the Dragons. Either way, it's probably a moot point as Hunt searches out to the right-hand side. Bounces up here for Lomax, who will run there towards Tommy Talau. Things away from him. Such a strong athlete is Zach Lomax. Now Faitala Mariner. Storm his way towards the red zone. He'll play it here. With just over a couple of minutes remaining. DeBellin, short ball for Eisenhuth. Cherry Evans is there. So was Travojevic, and then it was put down by Leilua. Cherry Evans on a counter-attack. Links up with Jason Saab. Now there's a problem. Saab versus Sloan, who grabs him from behind.
Oh, gee, just chanced his hand in the second half, hasn't he, Daly Cherry Evans? Every time he's got the opportunity, he's put on something a little bit different here for the Manly side.
There he is coming across on this left-hand side of the field. Gives it off to Talau, who will play it inside the Dragons 40. From Kohler to Cherry Evans. Lawton.
You know, most blokes down at that end of the field, when there's only a few minutes to go and you get the ball back, would take the tackle. Not Cherry Evans.
Bullymore, straight and hard here, running it towards Little. Bit of field goal practice perhaps. Anthony Seibold watching on to see how they finish this game out. Here is Cherry Evans, grubbering. Kohler, such speed, dives for the ball. It had beaten everybody though beyond the dead ball line.
Tackle forward, no try. Just confirming that Manly knocked the ball on. Have a look, mate.
Well, it looked as though Lomax was just helping it, shepherding it legally towards being dead. And then Coley coming through, gets a touch right there and knocks it forward. It'll be the Dragons with possession.
Yeah, they'll get the restart, the 20-metre line. Minute 15 to go. Everyone just trying to slow the game now. They'll get numbers in the tackle.
He's
the Manly
straddling
team.
and the ball is dead off him. It'll be a goal line dropout. We have a decision.
Wow.
So Lomax with his foot on the line there gets the first touch, says the bunker, and it will be a goal line dropout. Not much going the Dragons' way at times in this second half.
Well, that's all she wrote. They get the football back now. The Manly side, the crowd will start to rise as one now.
Knights and the Panthers, they are up next right here on the Sunday Ticket. Do not go anywhere. Huge game. Jerome Luai, pressure on him. Some big omissions for the Panthers, but they do get Dylan Edwards back. Origin trial for New South Wales to see if he can get through with that calf problem, or that quad problem, ahead of Origin 2. That's coming up next right here on Fox League. Brown takes it inside the Dragons 30. Maybe a field goal here for a bit of practice for a man who's kicked so many in his career. Cherry Evans, pass goes to ground. It'll go into touch. And this one grinding to a conclusion here inside the final 60 seconds. Manly, their record will improve to 7 wins, 1 draw and 6 losses. And this was always going to feel like a 4-point game today. 2 teams side by side on the ladder. The loser losing out doubly to a direct competitor, perhaps in a battle for the same place in the top 8.
Well, it was a second half performance from the Saints last week that just piled on the points against the Tigers. Maybe it wasn't the sort of effort that you wanted to go into a big game against Manly.
Hunts.
And it was so comfortable for them.
Penalty here right at the death as Raymond Faitala Mariner was dragged down to the play as a support there for Ben Hunt. Kick for a line. That'll just about do us here today. Anthony Seibold gets the congratulations from all concerned, including Ruben Garrick, who with 2 head knocks today ruled out with Category 1. He'll also be unavailable for that game against the Rabbitohs next week. Here is Hunt, who puts it high in the air. Saab is there. He makes the catch, and Manly get the points today in one of their more memorable wins for a long, long time here at 4 Pines Park at Brookvale. Down to just the 13 players on the field for great portions of the game, given the injuries to Paseka and Sipley. Garrick out of the game. Corey Waddell made a cameo after being out for more than 50 minutes of game time. He returned also fleetingly, but at full time. Manly, with players playing well beyond their normal minutes in the middle of the field, have taken down the Dragons 30 points to 14.